Hello again. I'm back. It'll be different intro every time, don't worry. Anyway, we're talking about Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I mean, obviously. This game is about a girl named Senua, a Celtic warrior who traveled into Viking territory for a journey for herself. Which of course you can find out more, as you play the game. But I think the biggest thing to talk about here is Senua, who has a type of mental illness. I don't exactly remember what kind it is, so I don't want to not say it correctly or say it wrong or whatever the case be, maybe. But essentially this mental illness that she has makes it so she hears voices and sees things, which of course leads into probably my favorite part about this whole experience is the audio. Now the audio, of course, as I mentioned, the voices, you have to play this game with headphones. I genuinely believe that if you don't wear headphones, you're putting yourself at a disservice while going through this game. It is actually insane to me how they managed to put this game together in that way. Especially, I'll probably put in a small clip on like how they were recording the audio, but essentially you have, again, as I said already, the voices, but as with headphones on, you hear it almost sounds like all around you, right? Some voices get quieter, some get louder. Almost feels like they're talking behind you, which is kind of crazy. It's generally anxiety inducing, right? Because as you're trying to figure out how to solve this puzzle, because there's plenty of, specifically just one puzzle where I was just stuck on for, had to be at least an hour or two, right, between, for sure. I definitely took a break to come back later because I just didn't know where the hell to go. But as you're trying to figure stuff out, you have these voices just saying, like, she doesn't see it, you're stupid, how could you not see it, you fucking moron. And it's just like, I'm trying, just like, there's only so much I could do. I'm really trying here, fellas. But it's so cool. I really love the audio in this game, especially the way they went about doing the voices. I think it's so sick. I absolutely love going through this whole entire game. I think they did a pretty good job in having these voices, and I mean, like I said, it's generally anxiety inducing with just so much, noises going on as you're trying to figure out what do I do next. I think another big thing is the kind of way you go through this whole experience. It's a long emotional journey as you're going through what she has suffered and what she is currently suffering from, and it's just showing the visions and voices and hearing them just talk about different things and stuff while she's trying to ignore all the voices in her head. I think they did a really well job. This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. Leaving it in. They did a really good job on putting it all together. I think it's really fucking sick, and I absolutely fucking love it. Moving on to, I guess, the gameplay aspect of it all. Pretty straightforward. You'll have some puzzles, and you'll have some fights, and it's pretty as simple as it gets. I think the puzzles are really nice. As far as going through this game, I don't think they really tell like a true tutorial or anything like that, unless I missed it. I am known to be stupid, so I could easily miss it, but I don't recall them having like button prompts and stuff like that. Like as soon as you go into the first fight, you kind of just start pressing buttons and just trying to figure out, what am I doing, There's a shoulder bash attack that I didn't figure out till like the last 30 minutes of the game, which is cool. I kind of wish I figured out that sooner, but it is what it is. But yeah, but it's pretty easy as you're going through these different scenarios. Start pressing buttons and you'll try to figure out different cool like even like combos and stuff. Even like it's just like light attack, heavy attack, right? Along with like kicks and the shoulder bash, like probably the block or stop people, enemies with shield and stuff like that. I think it's simple but effective, and I absolutely had a blast going through each and every action scenario. I thought it was great. The puzzles. There's a one guy, I can't remember his name. I believe it was like Vatu. I don't know if he's a god, a Norse god. I'm not super familiar with Norse mythology. But that section took me a while, right? The cool thing, now I don't want to obviously say anything about how to do it, because it was very satisfying once I figured it out. Albeit, it's simple in hindsight, I guess, right? I just, for whatever reason, didn't realize until forever. But once I found out, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I actually like this puzzle a lot. And I thought that was really cool, and I think unique for me. I don't think I've ever seen any puzzle like that in a game before. Basically the game sets itself, you fight Sutur and Vatu. You do their sections until you go into the essentially final section. And I think the game was, I think I beat it within 8 to 9 hours, which is perfect length for me. Definitely, I think that's probably my ideal amount of game time for any story game, in most cases anyways. So I had a blast all the way through. Let's see, last final things. We could talk about the music real quick. Not insane amount as you're going through her journey, so isn't blasting anything like Devil May Cry music or anything like that. But I think the moments it does have music are just beautiful, right? Beautiful and kind of fitting the, I guess, theme. I'm trying to think, because like Vatu had a section where he had his own kind of chant type stuff, or maybe that was the other guy. Don't remember. Maybe they both had their own chant stuff. Regardless, it was like drums beating with like almost like a choir type effect, like a chant, and I absolutely love that shit. I think that like I'm trying to think of some good word to describe it. And for whatever reason, the only word I could think of is I came. Which, I mean, I'm a man of few words. I guess that works. Really good. And I do want to show probably a brief section. Maybe I'll show it at the end. I think I might show it at the end. I'll bring it back up again, maybe. Or maybe I won't. We'll see. Maybe I'll say text on the screen. Doesn't matter. See, what else can I talk about? There's... oh, the environment. Of course. How could I forget? This game is pretty beautiful. I really like this game. I think looking at... I like going through this whole journey. As much as I don't necessarily like pausing too much to kind of, it breaks the immersion or whatever the case. I definitely did take a lot of screenshots. Went into photo mode. Took a lot of screenshots. This game is really fucking cool looking. And there's such cool sections. I'll definitely probably near the end show some of those screenshots. Right? Obviously I think majority of the screenshots are definitely like edited in some fashion with like the photo mode filters. But they're sick nonetheless. Like, I went into photo mode because it looked good, and then messed around with the filters. Like, oh, this looks really good. So, I'll show some of those too for sure. As we're probably gonna come to a close soon, I think, unless for some reason I get a sudden burst of information I want to talk about. This game is an emotional journey for sure. I definitely recommend, I guess I'm saying, okay, anyway, definitely recommend playing the game for yourself, obviously, as always, right? I think it's just such a beautiful experience, and I absolutely recommend to play through it. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, because obviously that would ruin the game. But I think going through, I mean, like I said, the game is about 8 to 9 hours long. I definitely took my time going through it, just kind of walking around, you know, walking around the different areas and stuff like that. Going along just these long paths and routes, and hearing the voices just talk, you know, it's just so cool. You know, cool, not so much for Senua, but I mean, like, it's just such a damn good experience. And I am very much looking forward to one day playing Hellblade 2, although it's definitely going to take a bit, because, you know, exclusive and all. But I'm very curious nonetheless, and I definitely recommend going through this game for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, you know. Final thoughts. Let's see here. Thinking. I said oh again. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Shit, I don't know. That might be it. Right? Action good. Very fun to play. Super cool sections to go through, both aesthetically and to play. I definitely think the second fight, or boss fight, was probably the coolest. I think it was Vadu. I think going through his whole section was really sick. And I just now remember stuff. Good thing I was just talking. Okay, there is also this stuff which is probably showing up now. Is like these, it's like this weird puzzle, right? Where you look at something, and then you have to focus on something else trying to look for said things. And you just have like these runes just popping up all over your screen and stuff like that. That was really interesting. And I definitely like took a while first time trying to look for it. Pretty sure I cut it down. So, you know, it took me legit like probably like 5 minutes. To like, what am I supposed to be doing? Even though it's, you know, like as you see, it's directly behind me. But I think it's really cool too. I actually really like that as well. Especially I just like the showing kind of her visions and stuff like that, right? She just, like, the voices even talk and mention that, like, are these visions even real? She's going crazy, whatever. I think it's, everything about this game is so damn cool, especially showing off. Obviously, I don't have any, you know, mental illnesses definitely as crazy as this one for sure, right? But I think they did a really good job nonetheless, you know, showcasing that. I really do. Especially when it comes to the voices, you know, I can't gush that enough. The voices in this game and the way the audio plays off it, again, wear headphones for sure, is just so damn cool. I love this game. I really do. I definitely will replay it for sure. Okay, now I think it's everything. I think it's everything. I guess to leave it at that, we'll probably show off my favorite scene, which is, again, sort of near endgame. So, you know, but nothing too spoilery as far as like dialogue goes. I just think it's a sick scene that personally gave me goosebumps. I fucking love it, and I want to share it. And then afterwards, I'll share some screenshots, which I may or may not come back to talk about. We'll see. I don't know what I'm doing, you know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, show clip now.
I won't let you kill me.
Hey, I'm back. Who would have guessed? That curse of having to do it in almost one take, because the way share factor works. Anyway, what was me? What I wanted to come back to talk about was something to do with the action. As a man who likes to experience the scenery and such like that, there's moments in which I mean, it's very fucking clearly indicated, to be honest, where you'll see like the room get blackened and a guy just comes out of nowhere and hits you. And because I'm too focused on the world, I just, like, my hands aren't ready. And so I always get my ass kicked. Anyway, what I want to say, that's cool. I really like that aspect of it, of you just walking somewhere and an enemy coming out of nowhere, right? Because I do that pretty often. And I think that's wonderful. Yeah, I love the way they do that. I think it's sick. But yeah, I guess that would be my um. I don't know if I want to call it a review. It's not really a review. I'm just kind of talking about stuff. I love this game, right? Absolutely should go play it. With headphones, of course. No way to play without it, you know? I think I might have fucked up that sentence, but whatever. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. Again, I'll probably show screenshots near the end here. Feel free to look, or don't look. There's gonna be minor spoilers, but they're sick. I promise you, they're sick. Alright? Trust me. They're sick. Anyway, we'll leave it there. You know, tell the screenshots or whatever.